called components. Have you ever used components? Where? Perfect. We have already started using it. So I am going to create a project called components. Now guide me how to create a React project. Npx. Then create. Yeah. Then project. And I have given it. Now the project will be created. Now to discuss about components, as I said earlier, React JS became so popular because of so many reasons. React JS is popular because of so many reasons. One of such reasons are components. We have already discussed earlier also why Geo became so popular. So many reasons. Free outgoing, one of the reasons. More data, another reason. Less price, another reason. Latest technology, another reason. It's not like one reason. Multiple reasons are there. The same way React JS became popular. Why? So many reasons. Components are one of the reasons. That is single page application. That is another reason. It supports something called hooks. And the reason it has a concept called Redux. Another reason. It supports something called JSXML. Another reason. Developer. Developed by Meta. Okay, that is also one of the reasons. Multiple reasons are there. Now, this reusability is also one of the reasons. That means less code we can achieve more. That is reusable. That reusability can be achieved. Now we are going to discuss about. Now I am going to create a project, and I am going to show you without components. And I am going to show you by creating components. You will understand. Okay. Now, if you wanted to create components, right? Component creation is little complicated actually at this level. Component creation is little complicated at this level, but that can be simplified using an extension. Using an extension, now you just click on extensions, and here there is an extension which is already installed in my system called ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets. So now see, this is the extension. Are you able to see? ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets. We just install this extension. Without this extension also we can work. But if you install this extension, creating component is easier. What is the extension name? ES7 plus React Redux React Native. Right? Okay. Now I think the project is not created yet. What I wanted to do, whatever you have created, I wanted to do something similar. That means what? I wanted to create a box like this. I wanted to display the picture image. What images shall we create? Take the top CEOs in cover. Now, for example, okay, Satya Nadella. Which company? Microsoft. There is one more. I wanted to cover. Sundar Pichai. Which company? Alpha. Then in Q, Elon Musk. Like this, I wanted to create. We have done for movies. I wanted to do it for this field. Let us try this. I'll be creating it without components first. Of course, you cannot create without components because app itself is a component. Without using any new component, I'll create first. Later, I'll create a component. You will understand. The advantages of components are it increases reusability. That means write one time, use it multiple. That's the concept of use. Now the project is created. A folder called components has been created. Now what I will do? How to run the project? First I have to go to that folder. Why I have to go to that folder? Because npm start means it looks for package.json. Package.json file will be in components folder. That's why I have to go to that folder. cd component. Then npm I will start running the project and I wanted to create something like this. So what I will do, I am just coming to components, src, app.js. Some code already they have created it. Now I don't want that actually. Don't want that. So I am just deleting. I'm deleting that. So you don't see anything except a simple white page. Now if I run this project, now it is processing it. Okay. Now I wanted to collect those images. Those images I can find it from internet or I can download it and put it in the public images folder. In ING we can give directly from internet also. Yes, can be done. Now I have seen it. Now nothing is showing. Simple byte because you have deleted. Now I wanted to create something like this. So what I will do? First of all, I'm going to create a div. Inside this div, I wanted to create ING. And I wanted to create a H2 that CEO name and H2 company name. So first of all, I'll try with Satya Nadella. The company name is Microsoft. The position I'll give CEO Microsoft. Just created like this. But if I see here, only Satya Nadella CEO Microsoft. What about the image? We haven't given the image. Now, image I can give it in two ways. Either download it and put it in the images folder and link it, or directly from internet. Either is fine. We have worked on both. Yes or no? Now I wanted to get it directly from internet. So I'll just type Satya Nadella. I will go to Wikipedia page and I will get it. I'll say right click, copy image. Now I'll come here and say src Now if I see here, yes, which is coming properly. Now I wanted to do for another. I am creating again another div. Inside this div, img. This time I want Sundar Pichai. SRC. Search for Sundar. Now it's a right click. Copy image. I have given it. Then to the CEO. Why it is showing one below the other? Div is block. That's why it is showing one below the other. Now what I want side by side. How do I do that? Now already this both divs are in another div called div here, and the CSS is app. So now I'll come here. Now I can delete everything. And I'm giving a class name to this called CEO container. Not CEO container. This class I am creating it. Dot CEO container. It's a display. That's automatically flex section become pro. So it should show side by side. Okay. I want a few other people also. I want Tim Cook. I want Elon Musk. Also, I want it for example. So what I'll do, I'll just do smart work. I will copy, paste, paste. Total 4 it should show now. 4 it is showing. Now what I will do, I will change Tim Cook. So we will try Gautam. He is also not top. Gautam Adani, CEO. Adani. I want Gautam Adani picture here. I will type Gautam Adani. So I'll say right click. Copy image. Now I should see Gautam Adani also here. Next, I want Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani. And CEO. And come here. Gautam Mukesh. That's the right click. Copy image. Any complications? It's simple, we have done it. Why it is showing side by side? This is the flex box we have given. Now everything is good, but images are not same size. What I have to do? So now what I can do, I can create a style, CSS style, app.css. I'm going to create a file called CEO image. No image, and say width 300 pixels, right? 400 pixels. I'm just giving some size. The CEO image class, I'm going to apply it to this. So I have to give what? Here? Class name. I want to apply class name. Class name. If it is HTML, I have to give class. If it is HTML, I have to give class. If it is JSXML, I have to give class name. You can do it through ID also, because I wanted to apply this style for multiple images. That's why I'm taking class. If I wanted to apply for only one ID, I wanted to apply for multiple, that's why I'm taking class. Here also I'm applying it. But don't try that. That is more complicated at this stage. Okay, if you wanted to try inline styles, first of all, this doesn't support internal. Supports inline. If you wanted to work on inline styles, you should know something called JavaScript object. What? JavaScript object. Learning JavaScript object is a bit heavy at this stage. That's why I'm telling you to try to CSS file. Not a point. I can cover, but it creates confusion for you, which I don't want. That's why I'm not covering that right now. I think I have given it. Now, if I see here now, all the images are showing 300 width by 400 height. Now I wanted to display some border to it. Now I'm coming here and say I'll get one more new box. CEO profile and say. Profile means the picture will be there, name will be there, company, all those details will be there, and say border of 2 pixel solid. May I have given it. Now I wanted to apply this CEO profile to the div. I think you know what I am doing. It's simple CSS. So I am coming here and I am applying to these divs. Here. Name CEO profile. Copy it. Here also. Now, if I come here and see, those border is coming. Now, I want this text to be center aligned. So, I am coming here and say CEO profile text align. Now, it will be changed. Step by step, we are improvising it. And now, I want some spacing between these pictures. Margin. I am giving margin 120 pixels. Some spacing is there. But I want some spacing between this also. This image and the border. What I have to do? Padding. Spacing within the border is padding. Spacing outside the border is padding. No. Are able to see some space? We are getting it. But here at white and white, it is mixing actually. That's why you don't see it. Understanding what I am doing? Now, 300, what I have given, 300 by 400, instead of that, I'll give 200 by 300. Let us see. It is smaller, I am giving it. Which is better? This is better, previous is better. This is better. Okay, follow that only. Perfect. Now we have done it. I can do much beautification also by giving the background color, all the things like shadows, effects, all border radius, all the things you can do. Now I have created 4. Now I wanted to add one more CU. Most important CU of India is that CU. The Bob of CU. Who is that? Ratan Tata. Right? So now I wanted to add Ratan Tata. He is special. Right? Whatever the money he earns, he gives it to public. That way he is special. So now I wanted to add Ratan Tata using component. Whenever I created a project, a component has been created. That is the app.js. App.js is the component. That app.js is displaying in index.html with the help of index.js. We have seen. Now already one component is created, that is app.js. Now I wanted to create another component. I wanted to create another component, and you can create any number of components. I wanted to create another component. Now what I will do, I am going to create a folder called components. What? A folder called components in SRC. Only assets like images, audio, video will be in the public folder because index.html is there. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a component and I wanted to put it into app.js, Sir Ratan Tata. I am creating it in SRC folder. So in SRC folder, I am creating a folder called components. Why I am creating in SRC? Because I wanted to load it into app.js. App.js is in SRC. That's why I am just created the folder in SRC. Then here I wanted to create the component and the name of the component. If you create it, the component name should start with capital and continuation with capital. Component name should start with capital and continuation with the capital. Now what I will do, I am creating a new file. Everywhere it is JavaScript files only. I will say give the name as the CEO box something. CEO box.js. Instead of CEO box, CEO details.js. I've created a file called CEO details.js. This is a normal JavaScript file. This is not component yet. See, if I have a white paper, if I write a complaint on that paper, that becomes complaint paper. If I write a request on that, that becomes request letter. If I don't write anything, that is just a paper only. Exactly, this is just a JavaScript file only. If I create a component, this becomes component. Now, how to create a component? We have to write lots of code actually. Learning that will be slightly difficult at this stage because we are into the 3rd day of this React. So writing this component is little difficult. That's why I have simplified it by using a third-party extension called ES7 plus React Redux, React Data Script. After installing that extension, you just type RFCE. What? RFCE. RFCE means React Functional Export Component. You have to type what? RFCE. You just type RFCE and say enter. That's it. Component has been created. Understanding what I am saying? What is the command to create a component? RFCE. If you install that extension, this is what actually you have to create component. What to import React from React function, CEO details, return, all these things you have to create it. But this is little complicated. So I wanted to use this extension. But you use this extension at the starting stages only. In interviews, what happens? They will be giving you online editors. There, if you type RFCE, it won't work. This is starting only. After a few days, I want you to write on your own. Whatever it is showing, I want you to write on your own. Because if you depend on this extension, in interviews, you cannot use this extension, you cannot create components. That should not be happening. Okay? RFCE, I have created it. Now, this is a component I have created. Now, there are so many things out there, you can just ignore all those things, you bother about these things. JSXML. We know HTML, so JSXML is good for us. Easy. Now, this is the component we have created. Now, what I will do, I will use this component. I have created the component. I will use this component in the app.js. I will use this component in app.js. Now, I am coming to app.js. And here, what I will do, what is the name of the component? CEO details. I'll type CEO. Are you able to see CEO details is showing? I'm just saying enter. You make sure you select automatically, so it will automatically import it. Everything will do automatically. Import CEO details from component/CEO. This then will come automatically if you select. Now CEO details, I have created it. Now I have closed this. That's it. I have created the component. I have used the component. Now if I come here and see, are you able to see CEO details is showing here? CEO details is showing. But what actually I wanted to show? Ratan Tata I wanted to show. So again, what I have to do, in the CEO details file I am going. The CEO details. Here what I will do, I will create again IMG, then SRC. What I will do, I will type Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata Wikipedia. I just copy image. Now I will paste it here. I am changing it inside the component. Are you able to see? I am inside the component. There I have given div image. This component where I am using app.js. Here I am using it. If I see here, I should see Ratan Tata also. Understanding what I am saying? But these two are looking same? No, I have to give name, I have to give so many other details, borders, all the styles I have to apply it. Now I am coming to CEO details, component, image I have given, and then I will say H2, Sir Ratan Tata. Then H2, Airman Tata. All companies comes under Tata Sons. Now I will come here and see Ratan Tata, Chairman, Tata Sons is there, but border is not coming. That a 400 by 400, 300 by 400, those things are not. So now I wanted to apply that. I have already created CSS for that, right? So now for this, I'll give class name CEO image. Now I have to match with it. CEO image 300, 400. Now CEO image I have given here. CEO image I have given here. So now the image also will be 300 by 400. Image size is coming proper. Now the textile line should be center and the border should come. I have created a CSS for that also. That is the CEO profile. So I'll use this CEO profile. Last name. All the file looks same, yes or no? But these four we have written it normally. But this is component. This is component. What is the advantage of component? Reusability. What? Reusability. Reusability means create once, use multiple. It's called reusability. Now I want Sundar Pichai again. What I have to do? Right now Sundar Pichai is not in component. It's not a separate component. If I want Sundar Pichai, again I have to write for Sundar Pichai. Even though it is copy paste, again I have to write it. For Gautam Adani, again I have to write it. For Mukesh Ambani, again I have to write it. For Ratan Tata, I don't need to write it again. I use the same component again. That means what? Now I'll come here and say copy paste. Now how many Ratan Tatas do we see? 5. Now see. How many times we have written? Once. How many times are we using? 5 times. This is called reusability. Reusability can be achieved through components. Understanding what I am saying? Easy or not? Write it once. Use it multiple times. I am creating the component. Here I have created the component. Nav.js, I have used the component. Got my point? Clear? Okay. Now what I want, let me comment all this. Let me comment all these CUs. So I am disabling all the CUs except Ratan Tata here, CUD. Now what I should see? Only Ratan Tata I should see. Understanding now, components are useful for reusability. Yes or no? Components are reusable. Yes or no? Components are reusable, yes. But not only reusable, components are flexible also. What? Flexible. Flexible means you can customize it according to your what? You can customize it according to your requirements. That means what? Now let me show you. I'll be understanding it. Now, what I wanted to do here, I wanted to show Satya Nadella details. Component is CEO details component only. But I wanted to customize the component so I can show Satya Nadella. I wanted to customize this so I can show Sundar Pichai. I wanted to customize this so I can show Gautam Adani. I wanted to customize this so I can show Mukesh Ambani. Here Ratan Tata. That I wanted to do. Now customization is possible for components. Customization is possible for components. Now how? You know, we have worked on attributes, remember? ING, SRC is the attribute. Anchor tag, href is the attribute. Likewise, here also you can create attributes. The specialty of JSXML is that you can create your own attributes. You can create any number of attributes you want. You can create your own. You can create any number for components. Now the CEO details is a component. I can create any number of attributes, any names also. Now I wanted to create an attribute called abracadabra. Yes, can be done. Laka laka laka. Yes, can be done. Any name, any number you can create. These attributes in React terminology is called as props. What? Props. Props means properties. So the attributes in React terminology we call it as props. Now what I am doing here in the first thing, I am creating an attribute in React terminology. What we call it as prop. Understand? See, you have prepared Pongal. Okay, what do we call? Your mom says, "Go and eat Pongal." They don't say. They say we call it as attributes. In React, we call it as props. It's the same thing. Now, in the React components, we can create whatever the props we want. Any number of props we want. Now, I am creating the prop called name. What? Name is equal to, I am giving the Satya Nadella. How many props I have created? One I have created. Now, I wanted to create another prop called company name equal to Microsoft. I wanted to create one more prop called designation. What is the designation? CU. Now I have created props here. Understanding what I'm saying? Confusion? Now if you see, CEO details is a component. You can give any name, but should start with capital, continue with capital. Then now I can create my own props. How many props you can create? Any number. What are the names of props should be? Any name. Right? But now observe here, you have to follow certain standards. Component name should start with capital, continuation with capital. And props should start with small, continuation with capital. These are the standards. These are the standards you have to follow. Component name should start with capital, continuation with capital. Props should start with small, continuation with capital. The same thing I am doing it here. CEO details starting with capital, continuation with capital. Prop names, name starting with small. Company name starting with small, continuation with capital. Designation starting with. These are called naming conventions. What? Naming conventions. Standards we have to follow. Now I have given these name, company name, and designation. What do we call these three things as? Props. What we call? Props. Now I am going inside the component. We are passing props there, right? How many props we have created? 3 props. Now here are able to see your details within the plot diagram. Parentheses are there. You just type it as props here. Just type it as props. That means those props are accessible from here. Now what I will do here, I will give the name props. What is the name of the CEO? We have given name prop we have given, and then company name. Props dot company name. Now let us see what happens. I've given like this. Now see what is it showing? Props dot name only it is showing. Props dot company name it is showing. But props dot name is what actually? Satya Nadella. Props dot company name is what actually? Microsoft. It is not displaying like that. The reason is it is thinking full of HTML. But these props are able to see this is actually called as JavaScript. This props is actually JavaScript. Now you just put it within flower brackets. That means what we are telling to the system that props.name is not HTML, not JSXML, that is JavaScript. That's what we are telling. Now I'll come here and see what is it showing. That's another light is showing. Why it is showing like this? This is treating as JSXML, but we to tell that to treat it as JavaScript. So I'll also put it in this flower bracket. That means we are telling that is also JavaScript. Now I'll come here. Ratan Tata picture is coming, but it is showing Satya Nadella, Microsoft, it is showing. We have passed the designation also, remember? So what I will do here, I will say within that, I will say again flower brackets, props dot designation. So what is it showing? CEO, Microsoft. I want a little comma. I will give comma. CEO, Microsoft. And now, okay, this is customized. Here also, it is also looking for a name, designation, a company name, but we haven't given anything here. No, I have modified inside the component. What I have modified? Take from props. For the first one, we are passing props. For the second one, are we passing any props? No. That's why it is showing empty. Now, for the second one also, I wanted to pass props. What is the prop I have to pass for the second one? Name. Because we are reading name only there. Sundar Pichai. Now, if you see here, it should show Sundar Pichai. Then, designation, company name or designation, anything is fine. Company name is equal to alpha, right? Then designation Sundar Pichai, CEO alpha. How many components I have created? One component. How many times I am using? 5 times. Reusability. Components are only reusable or customizable also. Customizable. I am customizing it. Understanding? Now the third one, I want Gautam Adani. So, name. Gautam Adani. Then company name Adani. Then designation. He is not CEO, he is chairman actually. Chairman. Understanding what I'm saying? Now let us try. Now I wanted to try for Mukesh Ambani. For Mukesh Ambani, I said Reliance equal to Mukesh. Will it show this? Why? Because we are reading name prop. Inside the component, if you observe, we are reading the prop called name, not Reliance head. Even though you are passing, we are not reading it. Got a point? If I pass name, then only the component reads it. I'm giving name. Now it should show Mukesh. Now designation. Designation. chairman, and the company name Reliance. Understanding what I'm saying? See, props while giving, there is no need of commas. I have created 3 props. I am not giving commas. And the props order can be anything. It doesn't matter. But same props then should be given. Because our component is designed in such a way that it treats only 3 props. Name, company name, designation. Those 3 only I am passing. Now, Mukesh Ambani, Chairman, Reliance. So, Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, Gautam Adani, Mukesh Ambani, who is this? Ratan Tata. Now, what I will do, say name, give Ratan Tata. Designation, Chairman. Company name, all companies under Tata. Understanding what I am saying? Okay, now I have customized the names, company names, designation. But I wanted to customize the picture also. Can be done. Same thing. Now what I will do, I am going to pass a image URL. You can give any name, or I can simply give URL, or I can give CEO, okay, or image URL. Any name you can give. Image URL is equal to Satya Nadella. We have that image URL right with us. Yes or no? Is the URL of Satya Nadella right? I am copying this and I am passing it here. URL also I am passing. So now which picture I should see? Satya Nadella. Why is still Ratan Tata only showing? We are passing it, but we are not reading it internally. Now inside this EO details, still here it is the Ratan Tata only is there. I wanted to assign from props. So what I will do, I just delete this. I'll say within flower brackets props dot image URL. Now why for these things it is not coming? We are not passing the props now. So I'll come here. I will say next is Sundar Pichai. I am copying Sundar Pichai. Here image path equal to this. Will it work or it won't work? Won't work. Why? Inside the component we are reading image URL, but we are passing image path. That's why it won't work. So I'll give that image URL. Now, it is showing like earlier. That's all. Now Gautam Adani, I wanted to do it. Image URL Gautam Adani, I can see. Ambani. Created by us only. All the props created by us. For actually for image SRC it should be. Now we are passing to the image URL as prop. That value we are assigning it to SRC. We are reading image URL inside the component. Inside the component, I am using image URL. So I have to pass image URL only. If I pass image path, it won't work. Whatever. So here I am passing image URL. So let us try. Instead of capital, I am giving small. Let us see whether it works or not. Understanding what I do? Working or not working? That means props are case sensitive. Props are case sensitive. Now URL also to be capital. So I have reading like that. Now who else is left? Ratan Tata is left. This image I right click, copy image address. And here I will give image URL. How many components I have created? One. But how many times I am using? 5 times. How many times I can use? Many times. Exactly the same thing they are doing in Flipkart. Now I'll come to a website called Flipkart.com. Flipkart is developed using React.js. Okay. Now are able to see all these things. These are all components, not multiple components. Single component only. Single component. They are changing the picture. They are changing the name, price, and all those things. You can see so many products. All those products are components. How many components they have created? Only one component they have created, and they are using it multiple times. Understanding what I'm saying? For 1 lakh products are there, they don't create 1 lakh times. They'll create only one and release it. There is no rule that only one will be created, but can be done like that. Now I will search for smartphone. Smartphone I'll search. Now this is a component. This is another component. Of course, the same component, different copies. What they are changing? They are changing the picture. They are changing the configuration. They are changing the name. They are changing the price. Everything is props only. They are creating one component. That component they are using it for all scenarios. You can create something like this actually. What is this here? Bullet list, ordered list or unordered list. Just dots are there. That means ordered list or unordered list. Unordered list. Now to create this kind of page, how many components you have to create? Single component you can create it and you can use it for multiple. Understanding the concept. Even if I go to next page also you'll find the same thing. There is no difference. This is developed using React. Got the point? I have an extension here. Are able to see it is highlighted in black color. If that is showing in black color, that means that website is developed using React. Now I'll go to google.com. Google is showing. Is it showing in black color now? No. That means this is not developed using React. Now here is highlighted in black color. That means this is developed using React. Not 100% accurate. 90% guaranteed. Got my point? Now if I access Amazon, I wanted to check whether it is developed using React or not. And go to Amazon.in. Is it developed using React? No, this is not developed using React. They might have used another technology. Now I'll go to a website called Facebook. Is it developed using React? No, but if you go internally, probably. I think web.whatsapp is developed using dot. It is developed using React. But the Facebook also, I think it is developed using React. We have to log in inside it. And you got my point? Understood what are components? Create once and use it multiple times. That increases reusability. The same thing, as I said earlier, imagine Facebook has 200 crore users, 200 crore headings to be shown. Old approach, 200 crore times we have to write it. Using components approach, write one time, use it 200 crore times. The advantage is you change it in one place, it reflects everywhere. The changes in 200 crore times. Advantage of that. That's why this is one of the reasons. Now, no doubt, components will literally save lots of our efforts. It saves lots of our efforts because we can reuse it, write it once and use it multiple times. If I wanted to create the same thing in HTML, I have to write 5 times, no other option. Now, writing 5 times, okay, you write it. 50 times, you write it. 500 times, you write it. Websites like Flipkart or Amazon, how many products you have to show? How many times do you write? Flipkart is selling 3 crore products. You write 3 crore times? No. What they are doing, they have created a component and use it multiple times. There is no rule that one component will be created and use it everywhere. They might have created different sets of components. For laptops, different components. For smartphones, different components. For clothes, different components. Like that, they might have created. I want you to create something similar. Something similar means we have already worked on. Movies, remember? The same thing you do it using components. Yesterday you have created it. You haven't used the components. Now I want you to use components. I have created the component and used it in app.js. That app.js is displaying in index.html. Whatever, see, wherever the river forms, ultimately it reaches to sea. Exactly the same thing. Wherever you have created the component, ultimately it comes to app.js to index.html. That's how. Got a point? Whatever the task you have created, movies. Now you create how many components you have to create? One component. In that one component, you pass the movie title, you pass the actors, you pass the director, you pass poster. All those things you can pass and create something like that. Now if I want for 10 people, one component use it 10 times. Now what I will do, I'll just copy it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have used another 5 times. Now I should see so many things. Now why it is showing side by side? Why it is not showing one below the display flex? Flex wrap. Wrap. So in the next, it's showing like. Now I wanted to show something like for movies. It's up to you whether it is movies. I think movies is recommended because more you have already done that. If you do it using components, you will understand the difference clear. Understood components? We'll be discussing about this in later at point. We have a concept in JavaScript called functions with parameters. What? Functions with parameters. Then you will be working in detail. We are working on so many things at the moment, but we are learning one after the other. Why are you specifying these block brackets? Because within JSXML, we wanted to write JavaScript. That's why within flower brackets, we are telling that this is JavaScript. Please recognize that as JavaScript. That's why we call it. That's why we call it as a expression. What? We call it as expression. JavaScript expression. Within JSXML, JavaScript we are writing. Clear? Any questions on this? Now, I wanted to do changes. If I change it in the component, it reflects everything. Change it in the component, it reflects everything. Clear? Let me create a task. What? Functional component. There are two types of components are there. Just to give you briefly, we have a concept called a class in JavaScript. We have a concept called class in JavaScript. Class is there in CSS also. CSS classes. Class is there in HTML also. We use class keyword. Classes are there in JavaScript also. So I am talking about JavaScript classes. See, shooting is a word. Meanings. There is a shooting happening. That means what? People go to near that or people run away from there. It's not cameraman shooting, it is terrorist shooting. Word is same, different purpose. If a cameraman shooting, people go there and see who is the actor, what. If terrorist shooting, people run away from there. There is a difference, but shooting word is the case. Same. Exactly. CSS classes, HTML class keyword, JavaScript class is different. I am talking about JavaScript class. JavaScript has a concept called class, which we will be discussing at later point of time. So they have improved this class and they named it as a class component. What? Class component. And later they have improvised this class component and they named it as functional component. What? Functional component. What we have learned today is actually the functional. For your better understanding, class is like a landline phone. Class component is like feature phone like Nokia 1100 like that. Functional component is like smartphone. Latest generation kids doesn't even know what is a feature phone or what is a landline. They'll directly use smartphone. You are like that. You don't know what is classes. You don't know what is class components. You are directly learning functional components. For example, if you join this course around 4 years back, you will be learning class components, not functional components. 4 years back, class components are there, not functional components. If you join this course around 7-8 years back, first of all, React is not introduced. It was introduced in 2013. But imagine if you joined 8 years back, you used to learn these classes instead of class component or function. Got my point? Understanding? So because you have just entered into this React field, you are learning the latest. But in future sessions, we'll be working on these things also. We may not use these things much, but still I'll cover. You'll understand them. We might be using smartphone, but I'll be also tell you what is landline phone, what is a feature phone, so you'll understand smartphone easily. Got your point? Right now we are working on functional components. Got your point? Confusion? But I am terming it as components only, but this is actually functional component. See, 30 years back phone means we are referring to landline phone. 20 years back phone means we are referring to feature phone. Now phone means we are referring to smartphone. Same. Let's ask you a question.